What's going on, Spitfires? Welcome back to another episode of the Spitfire Podcast. I am your host, Lauren Lemonian, the Spitfire Coach, coming to you with another episode that hopefully inspires you, maybe makes you giggle, but lights a fire under you to really enjoy your life and what you're doing. And it's been a bit since I have recorded an episode because I have had a lot of life change. First of which is a big move from Denver to El Paso. Moved down at the beginning of May, got settled, and then a week later was off to learn how to sail for 2 weeks. I lived aboard a sailboat for 6 nights and 6 days, and it was an experience, let me tell you. In addition to having to deal with the waves and confined spaces, I also had to live with 7 complete strangers. And honestly, I feel like the people aspect was more challenging than the seasickness. And people, actually, Brian was like, "You are so good with people. I don't understand why you're struggling so much." I'm like, "I don't think you understand. I meet with people on a daily basis or on an hourly basis, and I have my own time to process and to offload and to shake it out. And when you are living on a 45-foot sailboat in a tiny little cabin, there is no privacy. You literally, like, we had the bathroom right next to our door, and you hear everything. So you can't have conversations and you can't write. That's the big thing. Like, I'm a big journaler. I didn't even bring a pen with me. I didn't have my journal with me. And I was struggling. Like, I was using all of my somatic awareness techniques, breathing it out, trying to get alone time. And by the last night, I was like, I am just so done. Get me off this boat. I can't. And what I realized once we left the boat and went to our hotel, I was like, what was missing is the reflection, the intention setting, the big driver of what I was there to do. And instead, I was just kind of absorbing other people's stress and emotions. Like, we had multiple people getting sick. We had a family that was infighting with each other, like biting. And I'm trying, not, they weren't actually biting. They were like snipping at each other. And it was really challenging to learn and to just relax. And I realized, like, this is not a psychologically safe space for me. Noted. So would I go sailing again? Absolutely. Would I do it with complete strangers? Probably not. Or I would have a better vetting tool, or would be just more clear around setting intentions of why we were there and what we were looking to accomplish, and then having those times to talk about it. Instead, we had a little 45-foot pressure cooker with a lot of energy and personalities. So there's that happened. And also, we got a new puppy. That's right. 2 days before we left for Mexico and for Colorado, we went out with another couple, and there was a guy who had puppies from a rescue and was looking for a home. And I was like, we can't take this dog. We are leaving for 2 weeks. And the couple that we were with were like, we'll watch her. Like, we'll watch the dog. Go get your dog. And she was the curious one of the bunch. She had her head lifted over the little container. And I walked out to where he was, locked eyes with her, picked her up, and she nuzzled into my neck. And I was like, we are in trouble. And she has absolutely trained me. I thought that I had patience. I thought that I, was even keeled, and I had to absolutely check myself. I had some tears. We had a biting episode where she just wouldn't let me sit still. And I realized that I had to establish boundaries. I had to be clear on my standards and really work with her instead of getting frustrated and hoping to read her mind. So this has been quite the journey of having a puppy and moving and learning and all this stuff. But it's been great. And she is now a sweetheart that's sleeping at my feet in the office. She's a great office dog. And she's like now my personal assistant. So she likes to type on the keyboard and everything else. But, the bigger, if we look at this as like a macro level, everything that we are doing in our lives, everything that we are experiencing has this amazing opportunity to teach us. There are so many learning lessons in everything that we encounter. And if we just allow ourselves the space to first, like, expel the emotion in a constructive way. So for me, I had a good cry in the kitchen. And I just had to like let it out. And that provided the space to then have the curiosity of, what do I want this to be? You know, going back to, I've always wanted to get a dog ever since I lost my dog 4 years ago, Rico Suave, best dog ever. You know, I didn't just take her because, you know, I needed something else to do. I wanted a dog to like, you know, be a companion, to have fun with, to teach. And I was not honoring that desire there. So I had to get clear. And I also had to get clear of why I went sailing. And I had to get clear on why I moved down here. And so it can be really easy to kind of become a victim of our circumstances of, this is so hard. And, you know, then pile on the excuses versus just saying, I'm having a really hard time right now. And I know that I can have a different time later on, but right now it feels hard. And just giving yourself the space and grace to acknowledge that. And that allows for other resources to come in. It allows for other options to come in. Like, I realized that I had a whole technique that I could use with the dog to stop biting me. And I was like, I don't want to hurt her. It's like, no, this is actually how she learns boundaries. You got to close their snout. You got to like pick them up by their scruff and pin them down. And it feels awful initially, but that's how they learn. And sometimes learning hurts. Sometimes learning is uncomfortable. In fact, most times it is. If you want to learn something new, it's going to hurt. It's going to feel awkward. It's going to feel strange. You're going to feel like you're doing it wrong. And if you just allow yourself to say, I'm in a learning mode, I'm in a learning mindset, you can open up so many other channels. And I don't know anyone, even like dog trainers, who are like, yes, I'm the best at training puppies and they listen to me immediately. That's not happening. The puppy is learning with you. So if we can all channel our inner puppy, like be excited, learn, make mistakes, have accidents in the house, it's gonna happen. I mean, don't go and poop in your house. That's weird. But come about it with a newness, with a freshness of excitement and curiosity versus coming in expecting yourself to be amazing and an expert. We don't become experts overnight. It will all be new. And once we can get through the newness, it will become more known. And once it becomes more known, then we can feel more like an expert in our own domain. So just because it doesn't come to you quickly, just because it doesn't come fast to you, does not mean it's not worth it. And the more that you stick with it, the more that you can have compassion and kindness, allows you to learn even more. It allows you to have more lessons, more resilience, more flexibility, more adaptation, because it's not about getting 100%. It's not about getting an A in life. It's about recognizing those small micro wins, those small learnings that stack on themselves to become a deeper learning, a deeper accomplishment, a bigger step up. So if you're finding that you're feeling stagnant, if you feel like you need additional learning, like these are those opportunities. Try something new and stick it out. Don't quit when it gets hard. Ask yourself what you need. What do you need to like support it? And understand that it's going to be hard, but hard is temporary. Hard is not permanent. Hard is a mindset. So I hope this was helpful. I hope that I've inspired you all to go rescue dogs now and go train those puppies, or just go out and learn something new and see what happens and see how it changes your energy and how you're showing up and what it's doing to your stress level. Let me know how it goes. Hit me up, Lauren@SpitfireCoach.com. And as a reminder, if you are not subscribed already to the Spitfire podcast, go hit us up on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, wherever you listen to your podcast, or you can go to SpitfireCoach.com. And we'll see you next time. Y'all keep being awesome.